I came here because I wanted to understand how to read and think about original material.
That is what we did all weekend here, to make complex concepts understandable.
The subject that we discussed last, the Constitution, is of huge interest to me.
The purpose of the seminar was also to try to figure out how I could think better about politics.
We're engaging on issues of politics and philosophy that are very complex. I found it a very intellectually interesting experience.
You don't really have somebody telling you what's important to learn.
It was just totally surprising to me. There's nothing like that, I don't think, in standard education.
That's why I think the College of the United States is a phenomenal idea.
Because I like the idea of it, I have recommended it to people.
I'm really eager to see this type of learning succeed.
Part of the great connections was actually making the connections with the people.
I met so many amazing people here.
They were all very, very interesting, came from different backgrounds.
We'll remember this forever and it'll be a common reference point. Oh, I wanted to come to a place where people could guide me in thinking more clearly about texts and be able to put ideas together more succinctly.
Like I said, I had never experienced this technique whereby we were given some readings, and the attempt is to try and focus on the readings and not bring in outside information.
You're having these ideas, your ideas, challenged on many different levels. You've got to learn how to defend these ideas from many different angles. You basically are learning how to take the conversation forward, how to engage the various schools of thought with no boundaries, no structure.
Well, one of the things that happened over the seminar was going from being incredibly uncomfortable and frustrated with the format, the Socratic format, to feeling much more comfortable and happy with how you don't really have somebody telling you what's important to learn.
There was a lot of frustration early on, I think, with the format, because we're not used to learning in this way, but I've gotten very comfortable with it very quickly.
So this idea of necessary and proper powers appears in both of these documents, and I wonder if we can compare what the reasoning is about them. So both of them talk about the Constitution and its role in relation to power, and what can reasoning about the Constitution tell us about what the government can and can't do with the Constitution.
What do people think is in common between the specific arguments that Jefferson is making and the general description of the Constitution, or this part of the Constitution, that Madison is making in trying to get the people and the states to support the Constitution?
It looks to me like Jefferson directly addresses the power to make all laws. So I think they're talking about the same kind of thing, and Jefferson's arguing that a national bank is not necessary.
I thought it was in the context of the constitutionality of the National Bank, and that he's going through why this, even though one might want to say that it's part of the general welfare, the only action they're authorized to take is to lay taxes for that purpose. So even if the proponents of opening the bank say it's for the general welfare, they're still not authorized to do that. They're only authorized to lay taxes for that purpose, not to actually go ahead and build the bank and then run it.
The letter by Jefferson to Washington against the foundation of the First National Bank, and then the 44th Federalist paper written by Madison. It was very, very interesting. And I had not read those two documents that we read today.
He says, provide for the welfare of the Union. He's got that in italics, which to me sounds like he's talking about the welfare of the Union or the government itself. In other words, not welfare for individual citizens.
Good. General welfare.
When they said general welfare, they were talking about preservation of a union based on property rights. The Constitution is all about and only about property rights.
It
it sounded circular, or was he referring to only the enumerated powers only specifically enumerated powers can be used to determine general welfare?
So the very process that we're engaged in right now raises the very epistemological questions about how you engage in law about a document, how with reason you make decisions about what is legal and legitimate for a state to do.
The major difference is you're being taught how to think here, not what to think. You are grappling with the great issues throughout history.
That's what I was looking for, the independence to understand what I'm hearing and filter it myself and not be dependent on others to interpret what's happening for me. It was a strangely equalizing experience to find out that we could all think for ourselves and that nobody's going to necessarily validate your opinion, and you just keep putting stuff out there and trying to learn, and you become less dependent on other people.
I really gained an appreciation for other people's views and understanding that there are a lot of legitimate grounds for dissent or for disagreement. I probably had the most fun analyzing the art today. I usually don't delve into the details at all, and I found myself just like enjoying it like a game.
The exercise is to develop your own independent understanding of artwork by being able to look at what's going on in the artwork, the figures, the expressions, the setting, and see what you can know about the meaning of it.
That was the part where there was absolutely no pressure whatsoever. That was one of the most easy, joyful parts, because you could just look at it and say, hey, I see a sword. and I enjoyed it very much.
My first question is, what is going on in this painting?
So is it somebody's home? Is it a Roman nobleman's home? That would be, he's just protecting his household?
Looks like a man is offering up his sword to soldiers, and the women are crying about it.
So what does that mean? What does that tell us?
Think they're going off to war?
Yeah, I think they're going off to war, and he is
He's trying to fire
calling
them
them to arms.
Like, they look like they're saluting him.
How about these women? I mean, if I were really worried about my husband going to war, would I be like this?
Then how?
I'd probably be crying my eyes out.
That a Roman noblewoman would have had to show a great deal of backbone.
Stoicism.
More of that.
And so what era do we think this is?
Roman.
Based on the helmets.
Because they're all wearing different helmets, they all look like why are they part of the same, I don't even know if they're part of the same group.
It's almost like, like a ragtag band of rebels here. It's not like they have formal, they're not all looking the same. They look like, I don't know if that has any bearing on this, what period of the Roman Empire. When they really had it together, was everybody dressed the same before war?
Just to look at that and figure, just say what you saw. What a relief.
I generally love art and love to discuss art, but I sort of took a breather and was just watching. I mean, I think people participated. I think it was very successful in what Marcia and Andrew were trying to do.
I really enjoyed looking at the painting and really figuring out what was going on in the painting. I was surprised.
In fact, I had more fun looking at the paintings here with everybody than going to the art museum and looking at the paintings, even though I think I should like that. But it was really fun to do it here.
I was intrigued by Marcia's ideas about applying Montessori principles to adult learning. It just seems like such a natural way for humans to learn, not just children.
I'm in a room of like-minded people who pretty much have similar ideas, but you get to go deep and learn from them. So I know all of us are going to be fighting for this kind of learning and this kind of affirmation of the values of individualism and liberty.
I think it is a phenomenal idea, which is why I support it. I think it is absolutely essential for this to succeed.
This is a much richer form of education. I'm really eager to see this type of learning succeed, to see it at least become more available.
That's why I think the College of the United States has to succeed, and not only succeed in and of itself, but become a model and succeed, if not create 50 other colleges in the United States, perhaps influence in some small or major ways other colleges.
Do you know what? I think it's going to take an amazing number of skilled professors to do it, because what I saw today and over the last few days is that it's an incredible skill that Andrew and Marcia, and I'm sure that Mark Berger, bring to this, because it's what a management of both people and material.
I think it's a tremendous idea. I would like to find a way to actually get another degree from her college. Really, I would love to attend school in a grade book style curriculum in this way. If there's any way that I can attend this college, I'm going to do it.